I'm extremely pleased how well the restoration of the bridge has gone, and we're absolutely thrilled that Her Royal Highness will come down and unveil the plaque and cut the ribbon and show that this small stretch of waterway is brought back to life. The next big push will be at the Lockkeeper's Cottage under Pewsham Locks, where at the beginning of July there will be a work party with the Waterways Recovery Group volunteers, which will be a week-long work party, where they will start the initial excavation of Middle Lock.
It's a very pleasant business.
Yeah, they put it there for something.
Good morning, Lord Lieutenant.
Good morning.
Good morning. We were wondering from which direction you would appear.
Well, Lord Lansdowne brought me down across the moguls.
Yeah, good, good.
How are you, John? Good to see you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. That's it.
Country Lane.
Hello, John. We're all in our company. No, I'm at any point trying to negotiate the field in high heels. Anyway, it's time out to pick after all this. It's quite a nice day to start off too well.
It's John Laverick.
Hello, John. How very nice to meet you.
And Colin Fisher.
Hello, Colin. Hello. Very nice to see you. Hi, sorry. Like all the people on the top.
And then you're going to come and meet them.
Oh, I'm going to meet them.
The guys actually did the work.
lost the thought back home. So we're heading back that way. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye, see you next
Bye.
Just down there, yeah.
Here we are again.
May I present the Trust President?
Good to meet you.
We've had our own, it's all open, it's been busy all week.
It depends on feeling.
So pleased to be back in Wiltshire because she knows so many Wiltshire people and it's like coming home.
Delightful meeting the Duchess. We haven't met her before, but we've heard so much about her from her neighbour.
The idea of the Cricklade Country Way is not just about a canal, it's also a cycle path, a walkway and a steam railway that will go all the way back through. So she was very interested to see the route that the North Wilts Canal will take will join up with the Cotswold canals, which her husband, of course, is the patron of. So she was very interested in that.
This is absolutely fantastic because it gives us a chance to showcase the canal and Canal Trust and what it does to some of the local VIPs, local people, some of the movers and shakers, some landowners and businessmen and local politicians. She was introduced to me, I am the branch chairman of the MCC, which is Melton Cowan and Chippenham branch, and then she said, well, I was the person responsible for this, and I said no, I was a liability, so they just promoted me out of harm's way, and with that she gave her a nice smile and then moved on. All the people that have worked on it, from Doug Harris, who's the work party organiser, down to the person that just comes occasionally, has all worked tremendously hard, and it went far better than we could have ever imagined. The weather was wonderful. The canoeists came and as the ribbon was cut, came through the bridge hole, which was absolutely wonderful. And of course later on they will take their canoes, put it in the River Avon and canoe down to their boat club in Melton. So it will be the first waterborne traffic to originate on the Wilts Berks Canal into Melton for almost 100 years.
Melksham are very enthusiastic, we're very keen to get this moving on. It's been going for some years now, and I've been involved about 10 years trying to push it along. But it'll certainly put Melksham on the map, and I believe we could be the next phase. We've got the Abingdon end sorted, and the Melksham end will be possibly the next phase when the money flows. So we're hopeful, and we're very enthusiastic to get it all going. Congratulations to all those who worked on it. And I think they'll be, they can walk along their with great pride, I think, when they see the structure they've resurrected. And that is I think that section is one of the most beautiful sections of the whole canal. So all credit to those who worked on it.
It's going to help with tourism and the wildlife, and the environment. In schools these days, they're encouraging children with the eco schools and the environment and things like this. And it's going to be right on the doorstep of so many children that they're going to grow up with the natural things.
We have a part of the canal in Caen at the moment. It needs to join up to make it viable. I think the canal has a great deal of opportunities for leisure, for cyclists, for walkers, and also for the wildlife. In fact, wildlife that hasn't been around for a while, perhaps. So it's got a lot of things going for it, and I look forward to the day when it all joins up and we can actually use it for leisure with boats.
We on the Kennett and Avon Canal, we actually see the Wilts Berks as being one of our sister canals. It's very much an important part of connecting with the rest of the country using our waterways. We on the Kennett and Avon Canal have always acknowledged the enormous benefits of canal restoration. And in fact, we've seen those benefits coming thundering through with better employment, better profitability of the commercial enterprises along our canal. And we know that you on the Wilts Berks can do exactly the same thing. When you look around and you see all the partners that are here, local landowners, local sponsors, businesses, VIPs of all shapes and sizes. It's really great to see the enthusiasm and to hear the chat. It's all about success. It's not about the difficulties, not about the issues, it's about success. And then I think it's quite a key factor with regard to the Wilts Berks. So I think very much we embrace the enthusiasm and the passion of the Wilts Berks because it's very similar to our own. And I think we've got a very strong partnership with you guys and with the Cotswolds as well to make it really, really happen in the future. It's not going to be quick. We weren't that quick. It took us a long, long time. You might have to wait that amount of time as well, but you'll get there with enthusiasm and passion.
I think today's been an excellent day. The gathering of so many people interested in the canal and involved in the canal, with landowners and dignitaries who've taken interest as well, and the visit of Her Royal Highness our Patron, who seemed so interested as well. And I think that's been a big encouragement to everyone. It's been a splendid day.
It's important for the Canal Trust, first of all, to show the patronage at a high level. Something that we've learned as a railway because we don't do. And sometimes this is an opportunity to make contacts with people which may not lead to straight change in the near future, but in the long term people will come back to you and say, I remember when I met you down at Bowood, and that is when things begin to progress and move forward. So it's an interesting event, and well done to the canal.
My thoughts for the future, when the canal's open, it can open up some diversification opportunities for the farm. Obviously with farming in the state is at the moment very difficult to earn a living solely farming. I mean, we've actually got buildings on the edge of the canal that can be converted into perhaps tea rooms. I'm very much into beef farming. I could even have a rare breed centre which would enhance the canal. We're doing everything we can to help the canal. It's 7 locks between Dorset and Bassett. I own the first lock, so probably be 4 or 5 years before I start working on that. But I think the future looks bright. I mean, I've even used the benefit of the canal. So I'm quite into conservation. I'm part of the higher stewardship scheme which the government operate to enhance wildlife habitat. And when they were doing the dredging of the canal through bordering my land, I reinstated a pond to give new habitat for the newts and the birds while the canal was being dug out, and it seemed to work well. I mean, now there's a mile stretch of canal on the neighbouring land to mine, and all the swans there, ducks, moor hens, the newts are there, and dragonflies and all that. It soon comes back, and they don't seem to worry about. I mean, I walk along the towpath daily, and it doesn't disturb the animals or the birds at all. They just get used to the public being there. So I think it's not going to be a detriment in the future.
Everything's bringing together of all the organisations. The partnership, I think, has been a great step forward for the Trust, convincing all the others, all the doers, that we're doing a good job. When we first started, I think people didn't believe that we could do this. But now, everyone believes that we can do it, and I'm sure it will be done. Without a doubt, everyone in favour. No one even dubious about the project.
This is a very long restoration. It is the largest restoration canal project in the country, over 60 miles. And we have approximately 10% of it under some sort of restoration. So absolutely, it's an absolutely delightful landmark. It appears as if the bridge was actually built as two bridges side by side, probably because each landowner wanted to own access across the bridge. So obviously, you know, where two bridges abut, you know, one can never be absolutely sure that you know, they're connected properly and this sort of thing. So that is the challenge, really, to make sure that the bridge is restored as one structural entity.
What a super day this has been. Here we are now in an empty room that was filled with so many people just an hour ago. A delightful day, and we're so pleased that Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Cornwall could spend the whole of the morning with us, a super visit to the canal, meeting many of the Canal Trust members, and of course, very importantly, the fellows that actually restored the bridge. And she spoke to just about everybody down there, and she certainly spoke to everyone in this room. We enjoyed the company of several of the landowners along the canal, with whose cooperation we're going to open many miles of this waterway and create a wonderful public footpath, cycleway, linear habitat, and of course a watery corridor for boats. It's going to be a fantastic project, and it's going to join the countryside of Wiltshire with the countryside of Oxfordshire. I would say that Her Royal Highness is a keen supporter of the ideals of the Canal Trust. She thinks the project is great, as I say, to afford people the opportunity to get into the countryside safely. No, I would say she is a keen supporter, I suppose exemplified by the fact that she indicated that if we had a similar structure that needed an opening, we were to make an approach to her office. A delightful day, and our grateful thanks to Her Royal Highness.